Hello. Thanks for joining us. I hope somebody learned a little something during that that little intermission, that premiere. Morning percolation. But we want to thank you for joining us. I noticed that our live stream is really fuzzy. We're probably having some funky internet issues right now. If you can hear us, give us a thumbs up in the chat. I want to thank you all for being here. Thrifty Angela, Linda Barker, Nursing Our Travel Bug, the Aloha Conch, who just dropped a video.
Okay.
10 questions video.
Good.
And also did a video of the Patent Museum.
Really?
Yeah, I know the guy who filmed that.
Do you?
Patent Museum visit.
How did the Aloha Conch get that video?
I don't know. But they've got a couple of videos now at the Aloha Conch on YouTube. Good. Go check them out. That's our son and daughter-in-law, JW and Miss E. Mm-hmm. So please do go see them. Aaron Jemison, good to see you here. Our show today is kind of special. I mean, it's titled, What is a Shellback? So we're going to start off by explaining what a shellback is, but really the show is about military slang, military jargon, terminology. Those of you who have been in the military, those of you who are still active in the military.
Well, before that, let's kind of give an update.
Okay. All right.
We've had a very, very, very busy week.
We have had a very busy week.
Yeah. Between doctor's appointments.
Oh, yeah.
Vet appointments.
Oh, yeah.
A hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sally came through right here.
Yeah. And
no damage.
No, we were lucky. Just some branches.
A lot of rain. A lot of rain. Soggy ground. Trees blew over. So.
But the most important news is we got Matilda back.
She was in the shop, and I had to go pay her ransom. And she got brand new headers and brand new header gaskets, not just header gaskets, brand new headers, exhaust manifolds. And buddy, she sounds good. Got some compression behind her now. Yeah. Had a few other things worked on, just trying to get her ready to make the trip to Mayberry in less than a month.
Yep.
We can't wait. Is Susan in here? New Horizons. But your face is fuzzy. Not a problem, as expected. That is from Miss Barbara's face is fuzzy, too. Expect that from Ricky.
Well, you know. Anyway.
Don't worry about it. Just hang in there with us. If you can hear us, fine. If you can see those blobs on the screen, that's us. We will be in Fort Myers at the end of the next month. Would love to do a meetup in Fort Myers, Florida. That's a long way from us,
though. But they've got to get to Fort Myers.
Yeah.
So,
we will be in Fort Myers at the end of next month. That's right. I got you.
Yeah.
Still, if you're skirting down 95, I don't know where you're coming from or going to, Aaron. So, yeah, perhaps.
We'll work that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll work that out. But, we've got Matilda back, and we're really excited. And even though we didn't really have to, we absolutely stripped almost everything out of her. Because once we got her back from the shop, we knew we would need to clean her out. And then I wanted to make sure we fumigate. Well, not fumigate it, but I sprayed and got every. Oh, they're going to be at the Mayberry. So excellent. We'll be there.
Who, Aaron?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, we cleaned her up. We fumigated her a little bit.
Yeah, we've been in a couple of Corps of Engineer campgrounds recently around Lake Eufaula. The ants are really bad. Yeah. So we basically had to, since we had to take her to the shop, we took everything out of her. And when we got her back from the shop, Miss Barbara fumigated her. And we have spent the past 2 days cleaning and slowly putting things back in. And you know how you are with your home. It's the same way with an RV. You just all of a sudden start sticking things places where they really don't belong, and before too long, that becomes natural. We had a TV in here, a big 50-inch television.
Yes, we used it for football games.
We used it for football last year, college football last year, and the TV had been laid. I laid her flat up on the passenger side dash, because if you know anything about a Fleetwood Bounder, there's a half a football field up there in dashboard. Anyway, I laid it down and we put a towel over it to protect it from the sun, laid it face down. And for a year now, we've been just setting our plants up there, and Matilda's right up there. And the TV's always been there, but it's been out of sight, out of mind. So my son goes to bring it back in today. He's helping us put things back in. And I told him, no. When I do put that TV back in, I'm going to build a shelf in one of the basements, because it's just the right width. And if I build a shelf, a small shelf, I can slide the television in there and then latch it in. So I've been wanting to do that anyway. But we like our TV. We like our college football. But we haven't used it since last football season.
No, but that's okay. And
Right.
when, a limited football season this year.
That means we've been lollygagging.
We have been lollygagging.
Hey, lollygagging.
Hey.
Lollygagging. Does anybody out there know what lollygagging means? I don't know if that's predominantly a Navy terminology or slang or jargon, but lollygagging. If you know what lollygagging is, tell us about it in the chat. Meanwhile, let me back up 1 week. We had a contest in our premiere video last week, which was magnet fishing. 2 rookies magnet fishing. And there was a question in there: what year did the J. Giles band have a big hit with Freeze Frame? And Bob at Lucky Dog Productions said it was 1981. That's incorrect. It was Hitch Up. Who was it? It was Hitch Up.
Something about
Hang on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I told you I
had
would
it.
forget it.
I had it, and let's go to comments. Anyway, the correct answer was 1982. The song was recorded in 1981, and it hit the charts in February and started climbing the charts in February of 1982. So if we go down here to our comments
From our previous show.
right,
Those are just 2 I hadn't responded to.
right, okay.
I wait.
Miss Barbara has
Save them
done
for you.
Miss Barbara has done yeoman's work in going back and
Watch it.
What's that?
I said watch it.
Watch what?
What you're saying, what you're about to say.
Yeoman's work. That's
Loving
another
Life Hitched Up.
Loving Life Hitched Up.
Absolutely.
The year was 1982, and it hit the charts in February of 1982. Freeze Frame by the
But
J.
then why
Giles
is
Band.
1989?
That was his first answer, and then if you go on down,
I
if
see.
you go on down,
He corrects himself.
he corrects himself. There's Lucky Dog Productions
Yep,
moderator.
okay.
That's Sue. Sue, it was not 1981. That's the year it was recorded. If we
Well,
go
yeah.
down to Loving Life Hitched Up,
You just passed him.
that's not the answer, though.
Oh, okay.
Okay? I know what I'm looking for.
Okay.
It's all
Uh-huh.
mixed in here. I need
We
to go.
we saw it earlier, so
Yeah,
I knew it was there.
1982. So
Mhm. They
the
had it
winner
right.
of the $25 Gander RV Camping World gift card is Loving Life Hitched Up.
Yep.
And we'll be in communication with you. And we're also going to send the coffee pod pads to Sue at Lucky Dog Productions.
All right.
Because we said whoever came in second, we'd give 2 of them away. Whoever came closest, or if we had 2 first correct answers. So there you have it.
Hello, Millie. Weekend RVing. Millie and James.
Yeah, our computers are running slow today.
Well, we're not exactly hooked up as well as we need to be. I guess you're going to have to move the hotspot back over there.
I may have to.
All right. Well, now Linda Barker, she asked, does lollygagging mean procrastinating?
There it is. Well, here's a funny thing. We'll get to that in just a second, Linda. Loving Life Hitched Up sent an email right after Sue at Lucky Dog Productions. Loving Life Hitched Up sent an email that said the year was 1082. It went to number 4, highest spot on the Billboard charts. I don't think, and I responded to him, look closely at your answer, Red and TJ. That's Red and TJ from Loving Life Hitched Up. Not sure they had vinyl or magnetic recorders in that century.
Yeah.
1082. He immediately responded, correcting himself to 1982. Said he should have put his glasses on. Anyway, the winner of the $25 gift card from Gander RV Camping World is Red and TJ at Loving Life Hitched Up, and the coffee pod pads will be sending out to Sue at Lucky Dog Productions. Now, Linda Barker said lollygagging means what?
Procrastinating.
That's really what it means. It's kind of a mix between procrastinating and being lazy.
Being lazy.
Being lazy. You're lollygagging. Stop lollygagging and get back to work. That's the way it's used in a sentence. I heard that a lot. So I know.
I imagine you did.
I know how it's used.
You did.
I was a skater when I was on active duty.
I bet you were.
So that's another piece of terminology. What in the Navy, what is a skater? When you're skating. Quit skating and get back to work.
Well, obviously, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Ricky, he definitely was.
We said we were going to explain what a shellback was. I'm going to let you start that.
Woo, a shellback.
Okay, first of all, me and Miss Barbara are both shellbacks.
Yes, we are.
I've got my shellback shirt on.
Oh, I didn't
I've got my Navy hat, but here's my shellback hat. Okay, so now we got the shellback hat on. And Miss Navy, that's right. Miss Chief Barbara, she crossed the line in 1990, and I crossed the line in 1980. And she's going to explain what crossing the line means.
Well, crossing the line is a Navy tradition when a ship goes over and crosses the equator. And a shellback is someone who has already done that. They've crossed the equator. They've gone through an initiation process. But before they became a shellback, they were called Waggs.
Pollywogs.
Or Waggs. And the Waggs are the ones that are initiated, and the shellbacks are the ones that are performing the initiations. But it's crossing the equator. And so that's a big deal for us.
So yes, we're both shellbacks. There is a distinction above shellback. There's a pollywog, a shellback, and then there's one higher, and that's a golden shellback. That is somebody who crossed the equator at the prime meridian, which is the Greenwich Mean Time line of timeline. So if you cross the equator on the prime meridian, then you are a golden shellback. And there's also a weather buoy there. If you make contact with the weather buoy, there's some other weather buoy's been there for decades. But anyway, that's a shellback, and we're both shellbacks. We're proud of that because we had a good time, had fun with it, and it's something that has gone by the wayside. The old Navy military traditions of initiation. We used to have a thing called tacking on the crow. And some of this stuff sounds kind of cruel. And by today's judgment, by today's standards, it was.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't have had it any other way. And when you used to get your chevrons, then basically when you got your crow, and your crow was your rank on your arm, and in the Navy, we only wear it on one arm. And that is the left arm. When you showed up to work with that new crow or that new chevron, then everybody got a shot at you. And they called it tacking it on. Now, for some, it was just a good chance to punch you in the arm. For others, it was truly, it meant something to them. They would tag you on the arm, you know, not trying to break your arm, but they'd tag you on the arm and then shake your hand and congratulate you for, and tacking it on is a way of saying, keep it. We're tacking it on. It's going to stay.
That's called tacking the crow.
Tacking the crow. That's right.
Absolutely.
And I believe I almost got my arm broke one time. Now, we also, Miss Barbara, she wore a chest insignia indicating surface warfare. And she had the surface warfare, and those have frogs on them. And basically what it is the two little points that stick through your shirt and then the little metal frogs that go on the back. Well, they would also tack those on as well, but they make you take the frogs off. So you got these two little pins, and I had dolphins because I was a submarine sailor, and they put your dolphins up there and then they would tack that on, but you got those two little metal pins that by the time the first one got done with you, then really it was kind of downhill from there. You had to break the skin.
I guess.
Yeah.
It wasn't pleasant.
It was not pleasant.
It was just like in the military, you know, just like anything else. This was a major accomplishment. And you were so proud that you just did it.
Oh, yeah.
You let it go because you were just proud.
Let me see here. Hang on a second. I gotta do. This is another
Lordy.
piece
Ball
of jargon.
caps.
Jargon. Hooah!
All right.
What is hooah? And I know at least one person in here. I don't think Steve Turtle is here, but or Blue Wave Odyssey, but I do know that the Aloha Conch is in there. And what does that mean when someone says hooah? Just like the Army used to punch you in the chest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Them are the old days. They cannot do that anymore. You're right. They don't do any of that. Our son crossed the equator on board the USS Donald Cook. I'll change my hat again.
I didn't realize we were having a wardrobe change here.
He crossed the equator aboard the USS Donald Cook, which is a Aegis class destroyer.
Yes.
Guided missile destroyer. And when they crossed the equator, they took them to the wardroom, and they had cake and punch, and everybody patted each other on the back, and
that was it.
that was it.
It's
Kind of sad. But today it's called hazing. You know, back then it was a rite of passage. Today it's hazing. And yes, I understand you have to be very careful with hazing. There have been some terrible incidences involving that.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Barbara, what else you got there?
All right. Well,
I need to write something down. Hand me that ink stick.
okay.
What's an ink stick? What's an ink stick? Pretty simple. Hand me that ink stick.
Linda Baker.
It's a period. Aaron Jameson says it's a period. Hooah!
But Linda says it means they got peanuts stuck in their throat. Although I think Aaron's more correct.
Here's my not surface warfare, submarine. This is what, when I say dolphins, this is the dolphins. And you had this chrome insignia, and you wore it on your chest, and they would tack that on.
Well, Dan, the vintage RVer, he knew it was a pin, your little stick thing.
Yep, ink stick.
Ink stick.
What else you got, Miss Barbara? Jargon, Navy jargon. Geedunk. How about geedunk?
Geedunk's the favorite one.
Yeah, geedunk. Do you know what geedunk means? Or scuttlebutt? Scuttlebutt means two things. Geedunk means one thing. So in the chat area, if you know what geedunk means, or if you know what scuttlebutt, scuttlebutt's probably an easy one. but scuttlebutt. Check that out. And if you have to search the internet, go ahead. Plus, if you have one and you want to stump us, we promise not to check the internet. Believe me, we got our hands full. We couldn't check it if we wanted to. See if you can stump us with any. If you're former military or current military or have family in the military. Scuttlebutt, Aaron, scuttlebutt is rumors, and geedunk is candy, or the candy store.
Yeah, geedunk is usually out of the snack machine or the little ship store, and they called it geedunk because that was the sound of it falling.
That's what they said. I never believed that. I had to believe it had a deeper meaning, geedunk. But they say it's because you put your money in the machine and you select the buttons.
And the coin goes, geedunk.
And it goes, geedunk. You know, but it's always been geedunk. And scuttlebutt means two things. Scuttlebutt is a water fountain. And the reason scuttlebutt is rumors is because where do most rumors take place? Around the water fountain. So the water fountain is actually the scuttlebutt. But when you say, hey, that's just a bunch of scuttlebutt, that means you probably heard it over by the water fountain or the scuttlebutt, and it's just rumors. Scuttlebutt is the latest news. That's true. Gossip. That's true. Scuttlebutt means gossip. That's right. Linda Barker, Dan, the Vintage RVer. Dan, good to see you.
We've got one called a Firewatch ribbon, and I remember hearing this one.
A Firewatch ribbon.
Firewatch ribbon.
Those of you who did time in the military during any conflict, whether it was Vietnam, Southeast Asia, Vietnam, or if it was the Gulf War, Persian Gulf, or Desert Storm, Desert Shield, y'all know what the Firewatch ribbon was. Ribbons, for those who don't know, are basically the awards, or in the Boy Scouts, you would have called them merit badges. But basically, the ribbons are the ones you wear. You see them on the left-hand chest of most military members. But explain, Miss Barbara, why it is called the Firewatch ribbon.
Because everybody got it. Everybody. And it was the National Defense Service Medal. And it was given to everybody that served. They didn't have to do anything. So it was called the Firewatch.
And the reason for it was he needed something. You had to have something.
Yep.
And then usually what accompanied that was a good conduct, unless you were me. You had your good conduct right next to that. And what was that, 2 years or 4 years?
In the Navy, it was 4 years. I was, when I was looking some of this stuff up, just so I would have something here, it said 3 years. I think the Army is 3 years for a good conduct. For Navy, it's 4.
Because it's harder for anybody in the Army to keep their nose clean for that long.
And Linda Barker, you're right. It was a participation award.
It really was.
It was one of the first ones.
It really was. So you had that one, and you had your good conduct if you kept your nose clean after 4 years. And hopefully along the way, your unit got some accommodations and some those meritorious expeditionary medals, and if you went and qualified with the weapons.
Oh yeah, then you can get another ribbon.
So if you went and did the marksman, the expert, the sharpshooter with the weapons, then you could get ribbons and stuff. So
I saw one, and it was called a bolo. Now we know what bolo is. It's, be on the lookout. However, in the military, there is another term, another definition for bolo. Do you know what it is?
I do not.
It has to do with what you were just talking about. A bolo is someone who cannot pass the marksmanship training.
Wonder what it stands for. It always stands for something.
It'd probably still be on the lookout. Because
be on the lookout, of course. Be on the lookout. Somebody's doing weapons qualification. Like Miss Barbara.
Like me, I did.
Tell the story.
I was on. Well, I'd already been qualified, but you have to requalify. And we were at sea. And I was on the.
Thank God.
I was on the USS McKee. We were at sea. As a matter of fact, we were on our way to the Persian Gulf, the First War, and So we're on the helo deck, and the boat's moving. And I think I was using the 45. It wasn't, just the shotgun or any of that stuff, because you had to qualify and all of that. But on the 45, it was my turn to get up there, and I shoot, I aim, I shoot, and we hear a ping, and everybody ducks, everybody's boloing. And I put out of the entire area, the ocean, I hit the railing on the helo deck. It was in front of me. So actually, I was a better marksman.
I was
a better marksman than the rest of them, because they were just out killing the fish.
She hit the rail.
But I hit the rail.
And she hit the rail. Pow! Hits the rail. Ping! Ricochet, and everybody's ducking.
Everybody's ducking.
They just qualified her. Move along, move along, move along.
Well, like I said, that railing is very thin. So I obviously was a better shot.
But were you aiming?
We were aiming at that, yes, out there.
Wait a minute. You were aiming at the rail?
Well,
I don't think the captain
to hit above the rail.
Yes, I don't think the captain would appreciate you nailing his rail with a 45 just for qualification. Plus, somebody could get hurt. What else you got? A boot. Does anybody know what a boot is other than a piece of apparel you wear on your feet? A boot. When you're a boot, what are you? That's a good one. When you are a nub, what are you? N-U-B, nub. Now, I don't know if that was specific to submarines or whether that was throughout the Navy, but we've got a boot and we've got a nub. So if either one of you know what a boot or a nub is, let us know. Did you get a marksman award?
Finally, I did. Yeah, I did.
I also qualified expert on the small guns. And let me tell you about that. There was 3 levels. There was sharpshooter, there was marksman, and then there was expert. Which one would you want to be? Which medal would you want to point at and go, hey, I'm a sharpshooter? I mean, that just sounded better than marksman, and marksman even sound better than expert. So if you were real good at it, you were an expert. I did qualify expert, but I wish I had qualified sharpshooter. It just sounded better. A Navy sharpshooter. That's what I am right there. I don't care who you are. That's good stuff right there. Okay, let's see here. Fresh out of boot camp? Yep. Correct. That is a
absolutely
boot.
Absolutely right.
And Linda Barker says a newbie. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Helo deck is where the rotary wing aircraft land. That is right. Helo, helicopter, helo. And rotor wing means the wings go round and round and round, as opposed to a fixed wing plane, which is the kind most of us fly. And I heard folks in the Army, we're right here at Fort Rooker, which is the home of Army Aviation.
Yep.
And they train everybody on the helicopters here. From the early days through the Huey, through the Cobras and the Apaches and Blackhawks, they do them all over there. And I heard an instructor tell me one time that flying a helicopter, because I have a pilot's license, I had a pilot's license for fixed wing. Flying a helicopter is like riding a unicycle on a basketball. So that's what
then
coordination.
You're right. It was firearms. We do have guns on ships, but they were the big boys. Those were fun. I didn't shoot any of those.
Boot is left on the ground, leaving a nub. That's bad. That is horrible. And that was Aloha Conch. The 50 was the funniest to qualify on. The funnest. I'm sorry, not the funniest, the funnest. We had a 50 cal on the Minesweeper I was on.
We had them on the McKee too.
And we got to go up there and shoot them. They put 55-gallon drums in the water, and we had to sink the 55-gallon drums. They were just full of air. But to simulate a mine, M-I-N-E, if you could not remotely detonate the mine electronically or magnetically, then you had to shoot the mine and try to blow it up. So we all had to qualify, and they would float 55-gallon drums several hundred yards away from the boat, and you'd get up there with the big 50 mic and boom, 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 boom. That was fun. What else you got, Miss Barbara?
Well,
Blue Wave Odyssey is here. Bob, we're talking about military jargon. Good to see you here this afternoon. Representing Army. I got you covered, Bob. And our son, the Aloha Conch, has a video from Patton's museum. You've probably been there out in Kentucky. So, all right, what else you got?
okay.
And Bob, if you want to stump us, feel free to throw some jargon in here that perhaps we don't even know.
What about a header? Going to the header.
Just the head.
The head.
The head.
Going to the head. That, of course, is the bathroom. Did y'all call it header in the Army? I don't think so.
I know that when I was in basic, we called it more or less called it the header.
My goodness.
All right. Well, that's not what we call it.
Absolutely.
The Army's got to
Head
put in a
is
few
the
more
bathroom.
syllables. Yep. How about a voluntold? Voluntold.
A what?
A voluntold.
Voluntold. Well, that's a combination of volunteer and
Being told.
being told that you're basically.
It's supposed to be a voluntary task, but it's actually required. Yes.
Oh, that was like
It's like the same thing I ever told my boys.
in the late 70s. We had a retired Navy radioman, which was my rate, John Walker. John Walker was a spy. He ripped off a bunch of stuff. Him and his son, who was stationed aboard the USS Nimitz or Enterprise, I can't remember which one, but his son was a radioman as well. And he worked a GS job, government service job, the father, and the son would take messages off the Radio Shack, out of the Radio Shack, and send them to his father. So they had a little ring going there. Well, after that, they cleaned up the Navy. We started getting programs like two-person integrity, no longer were you alone with classified material, things like that.
Yeah.
And we were voluntold. They said, we're going to randomly select people to go down for an FBI background check and a polygraph test to find out if you were involved in counterespionage. We were voluntold. In other words, it was voluntary, but your number would come up. It absolutely would come up. So, attitude check. Attitude check. Absolutely. I've been asked, what does 5x5 mean? Being a pilot, you may know. 5x5 is less of pilot jargon and more of communications jargon. 5x5 basically means I read you loud and clear. 5 out of 5. In this day and age, it would be like 5 bars on your Verizon. If you've got 5 out of 5 bars on your Horizon, you are communicating perfectly. So good communications means your equipment is working and you're coming in 5x5. In the Navy, we shortened it to fivers. You're fivers. And now might be a good time to go over the numbering system. You know that 9 in communications is niner, and 3 in communications is tree. You always say tree because when you're trying to communicate over a radio or a talkie, you've got to say words like Quebec instead of Quebec, Quebec.
Right.
Almost like you're pronouncing it with a K, the phonic alphabet, which is, I'm going to start it, you finish it. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Hotel, Golf, India, Lima, Mike, November, Oscar, Papa, Romeo, Quebec, Sierra, Tango. I'm jumping some, I think.
I think, yeah, you missed
Uniform, Juliet, Uniform, Whiskey, Victor,
X-ray.
All right, what else you got?
Well, we use that phonetic alphabet, again, for coded or high stakes communication. When you're doing your exercises or your drills,
it's
and your
important
things,
that
it's
they
important to do
understand
that.
exactly what you're saying. So if you say, if you send like a BE, well, B and E both sound pretty close. BED, BEDC, those could get mixed up. But if I say Bravo Delta Charlie Echo, then there was no way that you could mistake that. Bravo Charlie Delta Echo. So just a way of bulkhead to bulkhead counseling. I like that. And y'all know what a bulkhead is. Obviously, Aaron Jameson does. The Aloha Conch says 10-4. That's right. In CB terms, 10-4 is I read you loud and clear, or Roger, or over Roger.
Over and out. Mm-hmm.
What is over and out? Over and out is the last thing you say on a radio. You say over as long as the communications is active, the conversation is active. But on your final phrase of that communication or that conversation, you say over and out, which means don't expect me to talk anymore on the radio because I just said out. We actually used it on Navy messages as well. BTAR. But AR stood for, Alfa Romeo stood for out. I'm done. Don't expect anything else from me. What else you got there?
All right.
Bravo Zulu. Bravo Zulu, by the way.
Yeah, Bravo Zulu.
Bravo Zulu to you.
Yeah, that's a compliment meaning well done. When I joined the Navy, we had many Bravo Zulus. You remember Admiral Zumwalt?
Zumwalt.
He ended all of his messages with Bravo Zulu. So, yeah,
right.
Of course, that's a long time ago. I was just a little bitty baby. Tango Uniform is a failed operation.
A Tango uniform, that's because, well, you can't say what it's for. But it means, it starts with a T, something up. T, something up. TU, Tango uniform, means it all went awry.
It all went awry. And what's another word for it all went awry? That
FUBAR.
FUBAR.
FUBAR
means it's
effed up above all repair.
Or recognition.
What about a snafu?
Same thing. Snafu is situation normal.
All effed up.
Which was almost every day.
That's right.
I tell you what.
I never did know a tarfu.
Totally and royally.
that must be from the Royal Australian or Commonwealth Navy, the British Navy. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Everybody knows what that means. Yep. WTF, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. And they use these, the signalmen that do the flashing light, and they also raise the flags, the different flags. There's all kinds of flag combinations for different weapons or replenishments and goods and fuels and stuff like that. Air ops and things like that. You fly certain flags. As a matter of fact, when we initiated from Pollywog to Shellback, what were we flying that day? They all fly it.
You fly to Jolly Roger.
Skull and Crossbones.
Fly to
Navy
Jolly
ships, active Navy ships. I don't know if they do that today. They did then.
They did then.
We lowered everything and we came dead in the water because you're on the equator. You stop right on the equator, which means all the toilets flush straight down, no rotation. You believe that? But anyway, we stop on the equator, we drop anchor, we raise the Skull and Crossbones, and we bring on board, we pipe on board. Piping, what is that? We pipe on board. Bosun blows his whistle. You pipe on board Neptunus Rex and his court, which is Davy Jones and the bride of Neptunus Rex, or his current girlfriend, who happens to be a member of your crew. And if you were an all-male crew, that means you had to have a female-less beauty pageant to decide who was going to be Neptunus Rex's
bride.
Or
well, we did that on our ship.
Yeah.
It was a womanless beauty contest.
Was it really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have thought a ship that was really.
We had a
Y'all kept that tradition.
Yeah, we kept that tradition, and of course,
You know, there is a beautiful statue of Neptunus Rex on Virginia Beach.
Yes, it is gorgeous.
Yeah, I just actually saw it in one of the
Wayward Waggs just had a picture of it on their.
They
channel.
did. That's exactly who did. I was trying to figure out who it was, but Dustin and Leslie had gone to Norfolk, and they visited Virginia Beach, and a beautiful statue of Neptunus Rex on the beach there. And Neptunus Rex basically is the King Neptune. And as a matter of fact, across the top, if you look at what you're looking at there, you see us obviously, but around the outside is what is called a shellback certificate.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody receives that. And where we're actually sitting, the box in the middle would have held all the information as to the coordinates, the longitude and latitude, the time of day, year, month, and, it have all the pertinent information, what ship you were on, who was the commander of the ship at the time. All that information is on there. But across the top, you see Imperium Neptuni Regis. And basically that means not the empire. Yes, the empire, I was going to say the territory, but the empire of Neptune, the king. Imperium Neptuni Regis. And down in the left-hand side and the right-hand side, you'll see where I did some fancy brush work to brush out some of the female anatomy down there, which thought had been inappropriate, but I thought I should point that out. Now you're all looking down in the left and right hand corners.
And you're going, what the?
What is?
Why did you
She's
do that?
playing a harp? What in the world? Underwater playing a harp? Yeah.
Well, mermaids,
They're sirens.
Oh, those are sirens? I thought they were
Sirens. Mermaids are sirens.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a train of one thought pattern, or one train of thought that basically says that the mermaids, they would lure you into the ocean to die.
Right.
The mermaids, like a siren, would give you a call, or with their beauty would call the sailors to the ocean, and they would drown them. So when a sailor drowned, basically a mermaid called him into the ocean.
Linda Barker, she's saying that shellback, she just doesn't, it makes no sense. Pollywogs became frogs, not turtles.
It's true.
It's true.
It is so true. A pollywog does become a frog. That's right.
Unless you're in the Navy. And yes,
right.
I like your comment. The Navy is a secret society with its own mysterious language and rituals.
What is the five-sided puzzle palace? Can anybody tell us what the five-sided puzzle palace is? Again, want to say hello to Aaron Jameson, Imagine Your Odyssey. Also to Linda Barker and Dan, the Vintage RVer, and Blue Wave Bob. Blue Wave Odyssey stopped by. Bob was former Army. I know we've got a lot of former military in here. And if you have any, we're trying our best to watch the chat, but if you have any jargon that you would like to try on us, that's right, Dan. The Pentagon is the five-sided puzzle palace. Five-sided puzzle palace. Gone Elvis.
My daddy would know that one.
Gone Elvis.
My daddy was actually stationed in Germany.
Was he at the same time?
At the same time, at the same base, but they or.
Do you know at the Jeep Museum?
Same fort.
At the Jeep Museum, they actually have the Jeep that, he had several pictures taken as he's riding around base in a Jeep. He was over at Fort Benning too. And they took pictures, and anyway, they have that original Jeep at the Jeep Museum. The Pentagon had several relatives. You had several relatives who worked there. Dan did. Imagine Your Odyssey says, Scuttlebutt. He may have come to the game late. We already covered scuttlebutt, but it means the drinking fountain. And what goes on at the drinking fountain?
Rumors.
Gossip.
The latest news.
Real stuff. We're
Real
going.
stuff. We're
going to so and so. They always say the ship's going to so and so, and everybody gets excited. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. We're not going back to Perth. We just left Perth.
Child line.
Why is RV Underway live faded? Well, it's because of our.
That way you can see us more.
It's our internet connection.
No, they're talking about.
Oh, that's yeah. No, that wasn't supposed to be. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the blurry.
We're blurry because of.
We are actually out of focus today. This is actually us. It's high resolution that you're looking at, but we personally just happen to be.
Well, we had to
out of
be.
focus.
Yeah, you needed to digitize us.
Yeah.
You know, because.
And if you didn't catch the premiere before this chat session, do go back and watch the premiere. What's that?
Got 4 minutes. So
go back and watch the premiere of, it's not a premiere anymore. Now it's just a video. Go back and watch Morning Percolation, a 25-step process to making the perfect camp coffee.
25
It is
steps.
a silent movie. Can you believe that? I'm in it, and it's a silent video. Not one word spoken. Can you believe that? Can anybody believe that?
Sounds like something JW needs.
That's our son, Michael. Come around here, Michael, and say hey.
Hello.
He's been over here throwing in some Army jargon. What is that on your shirt? CNA. That's right. He's a CNA. He works with the elderly and in a very essential role.
Yes.
And a hot spot.
Yes.
For.
But we've been lucky not to have hot spot.
That's good. That's very good. You have had a few.
We had a few, but right now, we got it to now where everybody's being tested every week. So,
are you being tested?
Yeah.
All right, good.
I don't know if they send the testing to find out if I pass or not.
He is the reason that we live in Matilda, and we have been living in Matilda since March.
That's right.
And it's parked right here at the house. He lives in the house. And we live out here in Matilda because, quite frankly, we love Matilda and we just treat it like a full-time RVing.
We just need to do the retirement part. We're full-time, but we're working full-time. So
Nursing Our Travel Bug is coming up
That's
next,
right.
and that is no scuttlebutt. That is the real deal, Jack. It's coming up next.
Dan, I don't understand why. You're right. Our background graphics and Underway Live, those are clear, but our video.
You know, that is, Dan, my gosh, Dan, you did hit on something. I mean,
Well,
something is askew here, and we'll figure it out before our next live stream, which, by the way, will be at camp with our friends Mike and Joan.
Mike and Joan.
Next Sunday, we'll be coming to you live from Cotton Hill Park on Lake Eufaula again, and they're coming over from Mississippi with their endeavor to spend the weekend with us, and we cannot wait. And we appreciate you coming. Go back and watch our video, Morning Percolation. Also, last week's video was magnet fishing, and they're both fun. Check those out. Nursing Our Travel Bug is coming up next. I'm sorry. You'll have to go find that link, but it's pretty simple. Nursing Our Travel Bug on YouTube. And we hope you enjoyed today's program. And until we see you again, fair winds and following seas. More Navy jargon.
Mercy.
God bless you.